All right, I'm on my way to the Aria PokerGo Studio to play the Last Chance series. There are 6 more tournaments for this season of the PokerGo Tour. They are 6 10Ks. It's the absolute last chance to earn points to try to get into the top 40 to get into the PGT Championship. So, trying to do that again this year. I won it last year. I'm 55th right now to get in. So, I need to get in the top 40. Not quite actually, because you have to have 3 cashes to get into the free roll, or the championship. So I call it a free roll because they're giving away $1 million, what this is. So it's a championship event where you don't have to pay any money to get in, and they give away $1 million. You have to have 3 cashes season long. So several people in the top 40 don't have 3 cashes. I might need to get to 45th place or something like that, maybe 47th, who knows. On top of that, the top 5 on the leaderboard of this Last Chance series alone wins a seat into the free roll, into the championship. So 5 people will be awarded seats. So if I get in that top 5, I'll be in anyways. So either way, 6 tournaments left. Got to put up some numbers. There's some good players right on the cusp like me, who I assume will be here battling it out. Jim Collopy, Jason Kuhn is on there. Ben Tollerine, Lou Garza I saw is on there, David Coleman, some tough players. So they're all going to be incentivized to get a few more points to try to squeak into that free roll. So should be fun. Let's see what happens.
There wasn't a lot to talk about in those early levels. Now here we're in level 8. I look down at 2 aces, raise it up to 11,000. The big blind is now 5,000. Jared Jaffe's in the small blind. He goes all in for 67,000. Really doesn't matter what the amount is. I call, show him my aces. He has pocket 7s. We see a king 9 7 flop, unfortunately. Turn is a 3, so I have 2 outs going to the river, and I brick it. Gonna double up Jared Jaffe and get a load of how excited this guy is to win a pot. Did he win? Maybe I won. Did King 9 7 3 5. No, okay, he won. He won the pot. Now a few hands later, I have about 12 big blinds left. I see Steven Chidwick open in the cutoff. I have the Jack 10 suited. I think this is good enough just to put it in. I have a small amount of fold equity here versus Chidwick, and he has the aces. So not a bad hand to have against aces, but quite an underdog still. We flop an open-ended straight draw. Do turn the flush draw, but as I say, too many outs. You start to get your hopes up, and I brick it, and I have to fork over another 10,000 for a re-entry. This is the last level that's allowed, so I am going to exercise that option.
I just did a poll on Twitter. Is it rude to recline your seat on an airplane? Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard this?
My family won't recline their chairs, and they think I'm rude when I do. I'm like, it's my chair. I'll do what I want.
31% thought it was rude.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That seems so great. Like, if it was super rude, like, they wouldn't let him recline that far.
I know. It's just...
Sure. And I feel like I'm real courteous to strangers. Some won't. Like, Allegiance don't recline.
It's allowed to recline. I've never occurred to me.
It's not like you can, like, go as far as you want.
Most of the people that said stuff said that they were tall people. And they're like, yeah, kind of, because it really sucks if you're tall.
I'm like very briefly annoyed. And then I'm like, oh, I can recline.
But he's
Right.
Yeah. So it kind of evens it out when you recline too.
You gain the space back.
That is annoying when the person behind you like hits your chair.
Can they do comments? Like, was anybody like adamant that anyone who leans a chair back is so rude?
People had some comments like that. Yeah, people weren't like it's the rudest thing ever, it's unacceptable, but they had a pretty good stance that they thought it was fairly rude. Yeah.
And now we're in level 9. Registration is closed. I have about 90,000 on the button. I raise 2 jacks. The small blind goes all in. They have me covered. I, of course, call. They have the king 9 of hearts. They flop a gut shot with that overcard of a king, and they turn open-ended, so quite a few outs here going to the river. but they brick out and I get a much needed double up, taking most of their chips. And here in level 11, we raise in the cutoff with the ace queen of clubs. The small blind is Aram Oganyan. He makes it 70,000. I definitely consider shoving here with such a good hand, but playing in position here in a 3-bet pot is pretty sweet with a great hand like this, so I just call and I flop the nuts. 10-5-4 all clubs. I have the nut flush. Pretty unbeatable here. He bets 55,000. Don't see much reason to raise. Turn is a jack, and he just decides to move all in. And I think I should call. And I call. He has a hand which he does not want to show. A little embarrassed maybe. The dealer makes him show it. It is 2 8s with the 8 of clubs. So obviously when he tries to throw his hand in the muck, he's drawing dead, but we get to see what it is. And I win a nice pot there. And now we're in level 12. The big blind is 12,000. I look down at the magical pocket kings in the cutoff. I raise it up. The button goes all in. He has about starting sack, so around 125,000. Of course, I am going to call this one. He has the ace queen of clubs. It's all low flop. 4 on the turn. He needs an ace and only an ace to win. He does not get it, and I send him to the rail.
Hi, Mom.
And now I've been moved tables. The level is up once again. The big blind is 15,000. I raise in the hijack to 35,000. Jim Collopy in the cutoff puts in a 3-bet to 85,000.
This is the biggest coaster I've ever seen.
Playing about 270,000, and I think this is good enough to just put in for under 20 big blinds. I shove, he calls with the ace queen, and catch a high flop, king 9-6, but he bricks out on the turn. The river is a jack, sealing his fate, so I bust another one. And I have a nice stack here. We are in level 14 now, 20k big blind. I raise the low jack, king, queen of diamonds, and Jesse Lonis puts in a 3-bet. Just to my direct left. He covers me. At this point, there's 21 left, so it's a bit of a dicey spot, I'm not gonna lie. I do slide in the call and flop middle pair on an ace queen 4 flop. He bets, I call. The turn is another ace, which bodes pretty well for my hand. It's a little less likely he has an ace. I check, he bets 135,000 or so. I feel like my hand's a little too good to fold at this point, so I call. The river is a brick, 2 of diamonds. I check, he puts me all in for about 500,000, and I definitely give it some thought. This is a tough spot. If you watch a couple of vlogs ago, he really owned me in a thin value spot. But I do just have a bluff catcher here. I don't think he ever has kings, but you never know. I have a king, so that's obviously much less likely. So he can be 3-betting with quite a few ace-X hands on the bubble here. So ultimately, I decide to fold and give him the pot. So after losing that pot to Jesse Lonis, I have a little over 500,000, so about 25 big blinds. I have the ace-6 suited on the button. It's folded around to me. I raise it up. Ostapchenko calls in the big blind. We see the king 6-5 flop, so I flop middle pair. He checks. I decide to check it back this time. I would often bet. The turn is a deuce. He bets about half pot. Very easy call for me here. And the river is a queen. He gives it some thought and bets over the pot, 275,000 to 225,000. So he's betting well over half my stack. And it's a pretty tough spot for me. I have a decent bluff catcher. So I'm trying to think of how many of his kings would bet for this size. Obviously, a lot of his 2 pairs plus would bet an amount like this. So he might need a king with a good kicker. I'm not positive about that, but that was my read. I decide there's enough combos of missed straight draws here, and I do call, risking most of my stack. And I am wrong. He reveals the king jack offsuit. So I'm left with about 150,000 now. So now I am quite short, under 10 big blinds, and we are very close to the money now. And I don't pick up a lot of hands. My stack just kind of goes downward, defending the big blind here and there and check folding flops. We do see a big hand with Andrew and Jesse. Jesse opens with a big chip lead. Andrew 3-bets and Jesse shoves and sucks out on Andrew, who has a big pair. So whenever you're the short stack, you love to see stuff like that. And at this point, we are on the stone bubble. I'm going to be in the big blind with 75,000 and the big blind is 25,000. So I have to ante a third of my stack, put in another third of my stack for the big blind, and then I have 25,000 behind. And looking around the room, I am by far the shortest stack. Justin Saliba comes over to me before this hand and says he's the second shortest, but he has a lot more than me, and there's no way he's busting because he has a last longer bet with Sean Winter.
I'm in the big blind.
He probably didn't think you were opening up too
Flop was
much.
straight against you and you turned 20 out.
If I double, you're in trouble,
When
man.
I'm showing down deuce eight, I got it from before about the ace bet.
You have a last longer?
He flatted me king queen. Sean wins it.
You have 100 really?
So we see Jesse Lonis raise in the hijack, and I can't really wait anyone out here. It is a stone bubble, but I don't think I can fold and wait another round. So I just decide to look at the queen and call my other 25,000 blind. And as we see, I'm in pretty good spot here. Jesse has Jack 6 offsuit, and the board runs out well for me, and I catch a double up right when I need it. And then I look over and see Saliba leaving the tournament room. So the guy that told me there's no way he's going to bust picked up kings and just busted the very next hand. So I sneak into the min cash with no money and I double up. Always a nice situation there. So after doubling up with my king queen, I do get a couple of shoves through and my stack is trending in the right direction. In level 15, I look down at the ace queen of clubs in the hijack, about 10 big blinds, and I just move all in. Cary Katz is in the big blind and calls. We see the 6-5-4 flop, which is beautiful, and another 4 on the turn. So he has 6 outs going to the river to bust me, and he bricks out. It's a 3 of diamonds, and I'm suddenly back up to 500K after just having 75,000. So feeling good. And now after the blinds pass through me, I find myself on the button. I look down at 2 7s. I have about 485,000 here. I raise it up. Jesse Lonis moves all in the small blind. I quickly call, and the flop unfortunately brings an ace. The turn does give me some outs, as a 7 would be good, and also I have a flush draw now. And if I win this pot, I will be back up over 1 million in chips, and I'll be right back in this tournament. The river does brick, though, and shatters all my dreams. In the meantime, though, I did make a nice little pay jump, so I'm going to get $21,800 for busting in 15th place.
Very fortunate to make the money there, given I was all in the big blind with 2 big blinds. Yeah, all good. I earned some points for the leaderboard, so I really need those. Those are very valuable for me. So back tomorrow for event number 2.